Good afternoon, friends. Today in this session on BoS for the success for the paper risk management. This is paper number 6A. This is paper 6A and this is first paper in your elective series. Now, student, please note, before I start my further deliberation on this in this session, I would like to highlight one very important fact that some students confuse it with the strategic financial management paper. They say it is linked. Of course, I will discuss with you further that there are one or two topics are there that are from strategic financial management, but that paper is quite independent itself. Because what is risk management, especially post COVID-19 era, the importance of this paper has increased multifold. The reason is that now pandemic can never be expected, but it has happened. And with the happening of the pandemic, there are very adverse effect on the economy as well as individuals also. So after this, the companies has tried to invest in the risk management and how to come up with the risk management. Of course, I will discuss with you some important points. There are some one or two points I want to discuss with you. But before proceed further, I am just discussing you, since it is an open book examination. First of all, please note it is an open book examination. Contrary to your closed book examination, here you not to cram anything, you not to mug up anything. Books are with you, study material is with you, reference material is with you. Of course, as per the notification of examination, you can carry them with you in examination hall. There are no restrictions on the same. But please remember, very important thing, these should be in the paper form. It should not be in the form of any electronic gadgets. It is very important to note that no electronic gadgets are allowed in examination except the non-scientific calculator that is normally used for your core paper, that is allowed, except that there is no iPad, no mobile, etc. So whatever you have to carry the material, that should be in the form of papers and study materials. Okay, student. Now, when we talk about this open book examination, one of the two peculiar features are there. That is, first of all, reference material that I have discussed with you. Very important aspect is the location of location factor is very important. Suppose if you have been asked any question in the examination, so now you have to link where this topic is exactly lying in your study material, so that you can locate the same and refer the same and answer. Now question arises whether you have to you are requested to reproduce the same answer. No, you are not expected to reproduce word by word. Rather, you have to you can say you can have to deal it with the facts given in the case study. Sometimes it has been observed that students have ignored the facts given in the case study, and whatever has been mentioned in the study material, they have reproduced in the answer books in the verbatim. So you have to ultimately link your question. You have to link your answer facts of the case with the answer that you are giving. Now, why it is an open book? Another aspect is practical knowledge. Practical knowledge also plays an important role, because if you are working in the field of risk management, of course, you have a more knowledge, and that is also expected from you in your examination. You can supplement your answer. Of course, you have to refer the answer from the study material. Then you can supplement it by your own experience. However, if you do not find any answer that the reference material is containing, then here your practical experience counts, and you have to answer the question on that basis. Now I am coming to next important point. What are the material that you can refer? First of all, study material. Okay, so August 2019 edition is applicable for your May 2023 examination. Next is your case study digest. It is February 2021 edition. So these two are important materials that you have to refer. However, in addition to that, student, remember one thing. You have to also refer. Sometimes there are corrigendum have been given along with the study material. So it is very important that you should refer these corrigendum also, because there may be some mistake in the study material that has been corrected by way of corrigendum. So it is also equally necessary that you should refer the same. Any announcements are coming, you should refer the same. Next, in addition to that, what is more important? Financial newspapers. Any financial newspaper you can refer on daily basis. It can either be Mint, it can either be Mint or Economic Times or Business Line or Business Standard, Financial Express, whatever you like. It is up to you. So my request to you, please refer at least one financial daily on a daily basis, because what happens now, I am just quoting you one example. Like there are recently, due to Russia and Ukraine crisis, Russia and Ukraine crisis, due to war between these two countries, the geopolitical risk has been arisen. So that you should have a knowledge. What type of risk are taking place and what are the new risks in the coming. Nowadays, there is another risk is hitting is your cyber risk. Cyber risk nowadays is very important, especially I think I'm not exactly recall, but there is one in one survey. It has been ranked as a number one risk. So you should have some idea about what is cyber risk. Now there is another risk nowadays. Is there is a contingent. There is a category of contingent risk. Contingent risk means one risk trigger the another risk, like SVB bank crisis, that is failure of SVB bank, Silicon Valley Bank, has created some problem for other risk also. They have also generated other categories of risk. So this type of knowledge you can get only from the once you are referring any financial knowledge. Of course, your views and your horizon will be widened once you will read these newspapers. Now, in addition to that, study material is there. In addition to that, three important things I am discussing with you. These are part of your syllabus. One is chapter number 8 of paper financial management. Paper 8A of intermediate level. The topic name is risk analysis in capital budgeting decision. And this topic covers, the topic of your syllabus is risk management in investment decisions. Okay, so this is number one. Another topic is this topic relating to the paper strategic financial management. paper 2 final level. Okay, the first chapter is chapter 9. Okay, the corresponding the topic of this paper is foreign exchange exposure and risk management. Okay, foreign exchange exposure, and the corresponding topic of the syllabus is foreign exchange risk. Okay, students. Another topic, third, is very important. Chapter number 11 of same, strategic financial management, paper 2 final level, and the topic is interest rate risk management, and the corresponding topic is interest rate risk. Okay, so please student note that you take the printout of these three topics also and carry them with the in the examination hall also, because nowadays it has been observed that at least 1 or 2 case studies are also from these topics. So it is one of very important, and not that. Now I am coming to the examination. When we talk about the examination, the duration is 4 hours. Okay, and since as discussed with earlier, open book examination. Okay, 5 case studies are there. And out of this you have to attempt 4 case studies. Okay, when we talk about the structure, it consists of your 10 marks of MCQs, 15 marks for your descriptive questions. It does not mean that descriptive, it can also be your numerical based also questions. Okay, now there are 5 questions of 2 marks each. Now this can be a combination of 3 to 4 or 5. It depends on the paper setters. We cannot rigidly specify any lines that draw a line that this much of questions will be there. So this is a structure of the question paper. In addition to that, student, one thing I forgot to discuss with you. Yeah, I have discussed with you. This case study digest. It is very important that you should carry this in also examination. So 3 things are there. That is, one is study material, case study digest, and printout of these 3 topics. Except that if you have any reference material that is in paper form, you can carry them in the examination. Now, when student we talk about the risk, now it question comes, what exactly define, why we define, because risk has its own definitions. However, there are some of very interesting terms that I want to discuss with you. One is black swan event. Now question arises, what is it? Because this term has been coined by I think this is Taleb Nassim. There is one very renowned author. He has coined this term because these events arise out of blue moon, and their impact is very huge. Like COVID-19 is also considered as a black swan events. They can never be expected, but it has happened. Okay. Similarly, so that's why, and some there are terms like value at risk. So these are very some of the important terms that you should have an idea what is all acceptable, because from value at risk we can analyze what is the risk of our portfolio, what is the risk of our investment, and that is normally decided on the historic data, because historic data plays a very big role, and on that basis we draw a normal curve, and from that normal curve we draw what is the probability, and all that we goes about the same. So these are very important factors that you should have the idea of these terms. Now student, when we talk about MCQs, one or two things I would like to discuss with you. MCQs can be of two types. Of course, nowadays it has been observed as they are related to case studies, but sometimes there can be of generic nature. Generic nature means they are related to concept. They are not related to case study as in that much. But last two or three, one or two attempts, it has been observed that mostly are related to case study. So here it is very important that you should have a thorough idea about the case study. You should read each and every line of the case study, and if possible you can underline any important point. Okay, I don't know whether your models whether you are allowed to underline the examination. If you are allowed to underline, or you can use the pencil, so make small corrections on the same. If it is not allowed in the examination, please don't do it, but you should have idea about the important points, because ultimately that will help you to answer the question. Now student, one important thing I have discussed with you before marking the correct choice. It is very important that you should be doubly sure, because from the some examiner's report it has been observed that despite the fact the answers were very easy, students have committed the mistakes, because sometimes in a hurriness you may mark the incorrect option. So it is very important that you should mark the correct option only. So be sure that the all options are, whatever the correct option is there, that you mark the same. Another important point student is, when you, first of all, it has been observed that the students start attempting the case study quickly. Okay, first case study they are, since there is a 15 minutes reading time there, it is always better you make up your mind which case studies you have to adopt, we have to answer. Okay, that will help you to answer the question in a very correct manner, because time management and other factors are there that you have to take care. And more important, if you does not understand case study in a one time, then my advice to you, at least take 5 to 10 minutes more, then you again read all the case studies. So, and it has been seen that sometimes the case study, you may find that the answer of the case study may not be find in your study material. So my request to you, you answer the question as per your own experience. Of course, the examiner will read the each and every line of the answer, and if it is found the answer is correct and as per the logic, they can award you the marks. So this is a one or two important things that are very important for your examination. And last thing I want, one thing more I want to discuss with you. Sometimes there may be some amendments, because sometimes students say, sir, there are some amendments. Of course, there can some amendments can take place, because earlier there was publishing of inclusion of the risk management report. In the annual report, there was mandatory only for the 100 top 100 companies. But after, I think it was 5th May 2021, top 1000 companies are mandatory required to include them as per the LODR, include in their report the risk management report. So these are some amendments. Of course, you can update the same. And very important, the case study, it does not mean that the case study will be the questions of the case study will be from the one chapter only. There can be mix. Okay, there may be touch on chapter number 1. On the other hand, the next portion may be touching upon the chapter number 6. So it is very important. So you should thorough with the syllabus. You should understand where exactly the location is this, and location also, because ultimately you not to cram anything. And understanding is very important, especially 3 additional topic that has been mentioned in the syllabus, that is foreign exchange risk management, that is interest rate risk management, or capital bursting with risk. Their knowledge is very good, and it is also essential because they help to analyze the decisions. With this student, if you have any query, you are free to ask. Otherwise, I wind up the session. Or in case if you have any query, I am just sharing you with my email. Okay, student, you can send us me the email if you have any query, even after this session. Okay, student, thank you very much for your patience listening. Thanks a lot.